Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Real Eats with Rosie. I'm Rosie Hurley with the Express team at Keller Williams, and today we're going to make gluten-free vegan cinnamon rolls, and of course, a quick market update later on. These cinnamon rolls are amazing, but they do take some time, so let's get started. So you're gonna blend all the dry ingredients into a stand mixer bowl, and in a separate bowl, you're gonna put the non-dairy milk, the eggs, and the melted plant-based butter. And you're gonna whisk those until they're well blended. So for this part, you're gonna have your melted butter, your non-dairy milk, and 2 eggs that you're going to just break in there, and then you're gonna mix it together. Once you have this whisked completely together, you're gonna slowly add it to the mixer as it is running. So you want this dough to be stiff. You don't want it to be super runny. It's almost like almost an over-mixed buttercream kind of look. It's very doughy, but it's not what you would call like a good dough yet. This is the part where you're gonna put plastic wrap over it, put it in a nice warm area, and allow it to rise for 2 hours. Now, if you don't have a nice warm area, quick trick, just pop your oven on 170 while you're mixing, then turn it off. Then you can put this in the oven. That's your nice warm area. Leave the door just a little cracked. And then that way, if you have your air conditioning on, or if it's in the middle of winter and it's just not warm enough to allow that yeast to do its work and rise the dough, you'll still have that available to you. Okay, so now that this is set in the refrigerator overnight, we're gonna go ahead and remove the plastic wrap. This makes 2 batches, don't forget. So we are going to flop this out after we flour our surface. You're gonna just pull it from the sides and then flop her out. You're gonna want a lot of extra flour because it's very wet, very sticky. You can use extra flour, you can use water, you can spray your hands with oil, you can do whatever you like to make sure that it doesn't stick to your hands, but it's gonna stick to your hands regardless of what you do. So that's fun. Just kind of move it around, and then you just start shaping it into a ball, pulling that flour back in. Once you get it into that nice tight ball, take whatever you have, a knife, spatula, whatever, cut that in half. Otherwise, you're gonna have these giant cinnamon rolls. If that's your thing, go for it. It just takes a little bit longer to bake because the middle doesn't get done as fast. If you need extra flour at this point, it's not gonna hurt anything. Go ahead and put the flour on there. Okay, once you get that, you're gonna take it over to your Silpat. Very important that you have this or plastic wrap, because it will stick to whatever surface you decide to roll this guy out on. Press down, and roll. Then just use your hands to push it a little bit further where you want it to go. So for the filling, you're gonna want to have a stick of butter that's been sitting out like this entire time, so it's nice and soft. Like you can see, you can squeeze it. It's kind of gross. I'm wearing gloves because it's kind of gross. And you just smush that out. You're gonna do a cup of brown sugar. So with the cup of brown sugar, just put it in there and just start packing. And when that cup is full, then you've got a cup. But you want it to be packed nice and tight. And you really cannot go wrong with these cinnamon rolls because really it's every sugar. It's powdered, white sugar, brown sugar, like all the sugars, cinnamon, and butter. Just everything tastes good like that. So you're gonna do 4 teaspoons of cinnamon. And now the gross part. You're gonna wanna make sure that this is completely combined. So in doing that, you're just gonna keep mushing it together. You can try to use a whisk, but it's gonna get stuck in your whisk. You can, do whatever you feel like doing. I have found that this works best for me. It works fastest for me, so that's where we're headed. It's going to be more like a doughy ball because of the butter. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna start pinching and pushing. So you just pinch and push. You get these little dots of goodness inside your cinnamon roll here, the dough. Don't push too hard. If you push too hard, it's gonna go right through and then you're gonna mess up your dough. There is plenty. If you have leftovers, this makes amazing toast. Okay, so now we're gonna roll it. We're gonna take the end of your Silpat or your plastic wrap, whichever you're using, and you're just gonna kind of push down and allow it to kind of catch with itself. And then you're gonna hold it and you're gonna kind of put some pressure on it, not a whole lot of pressure, and you're just gonna keep rolling. If you've ever done sushi, this is the same exact technique. You just keep pulling it and keep pulling it and keep pulling it. You're gonna take something as simple as a butter knife. You're gonna cut it in half, and half, and half, and half, and half, all the way up until you get 8. Then you take these fluffy little nuggets and you just start placing them in a nice greased pan. It can be a glass pan, it can be, I have a silicone pan here. If you use silicone pans, make sure that you have something sturdy underneath because these are very floppy. These have sat for a little while and they went ahead and rose just a little bit more. So we're gonna go ahead and let them come in here, get nice and cozy and warm, and bake off for 25 minutes. Okay, so you're gonna take 2 cups of powdered sugar. This part does not have to be exact. The glaze is very forgiving. So just a quick 2 cups, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And then you're gonna add 3 or 4 tablespoons of a non-dairy milk. You just whisk it together and it makes the glaze. Yum. Okay, once your glaze is finished, it's nice and runny. You take it over these super hot, delicious cinnamon rolls. You just pour it over the top. Let's let these cool down and here's your market in a minute. Welcome to Market in a Minute for May of 2021. I'm here to talk with you all about how to be a reasonable seller in an unreasonable market. The US housing market is experiencing a historic boom, resulting in an increase of competition for a declining supply of homes. This causes the prices to go up, right along with it, tension and anxiety. There is help. Finding an experienced agent who can help you navigate the approximate 380 steps to get you to the closing table without feeling overwhelmed is key. Here are 3 tips to help make the process easier on the seller. First, have your home ready to show before putting it on the market. When we go live, things will happen quickly. Second, give the buyers time to look at your property before deciding on an offer. This means from the date that you go live, let the buyer's agent know that all the offers will be reviewed on a certain time and a certain date. And lastly, when you have multiple offers, remember the highest offer is not always your best offer. There are other contingencies that your agent should be able to walk you through to find that strongest offer. Best of luck. And remember, you can always contact me to help you out. I'm Rosie, and that's your Market in a Minute. Now that these have cooled down, they're ready to serve and enjoy. See you guys next time.